are we ready to live with COVID here in the UK?
I think we are getting readier to live with COVID.
We are going to have to live with this virus.
We can find a way to live with this virus.
As we head into another year of the pandemic, the UK government appears to be looking for an exit route.
I hope we'll be one of the first major economies to demonstrate to the world how you transition from pandemic to endemic.
There have been talks of ending repeat mass vaccination, abandoning free rapid testing and reducing self-isolation times. So could we learn to live with COVID, and what would that look like in the UK? COVID isn't going anywhere, and since the start of the pandemic, experts have said we must adapt our lives in order to meet the challenges that come with the virus. Let's break that down to see what it could mean.
Get boosted now. Slow the spread of Omicron.
In the UK, more than 80% of people over 12 have had 2 vaccinations and 33 million boosters have been given.
Is this your booster job?
Yes.
Congratulations. Thank you.
The fact that Omicron appears to be milder than previous variants has led the government scientific advisors to say that a 4th COVID vaccination isn't needed right now. What does that mean in the long run? Could we perhaps see yearly COVID vaccinations for those most at risk becoming the norm? Some scientists have warned that giving boosters to people every 6 months wouldn't be sustainable, and that more jabs shouldn't be offered until there's more evidence. In future, COVID might even be treated like any other illness, such as flu. If you feel unwell, stay at home. Otherwise, carry on as normal. There's also the question of testing. Free lateral flow tests were first made available to everyone in England last April, but there's been debate recently about whether they'll be scrapped. Although some ministers have said that free rapid tests will absolutely not be charged for, Housing Secretary Michael Gove has refused to deny they could be phased out in the coming weeks. One of the biggest challenges brought about by the pandemic has been to our professional lives. The last couple of years have seen many of us working from home in an attempt to contain the spread of the virus. That's still the government's advice where possible, but is it here to stay? Research shows that 25% of jobs advertised in December last year mentioned hybrid working or flexible hours. That's up from 19% before the pandemic. The government is now being urged to change the law so that large companies make all vacancies available on a flexible basis. What started as a temporary measure could have changed the working landscape forever.
Mask on, come on.
Along with social distancing, mask wearing has been one of the main approaches to curbing the transmission of the highly contagious coronavirus. In England, face coverings are currently required by law in most indoor public places and on public transport, but the rules are due to be reviewed. So will we have to wear them forever? Masks have long been a common sight in Asia to prevent the spread of illness, but will the rest of the world follow suit and adopt them as a regular fixture? Time will tell. Some experts have suggested face coverings should remain indefinitely as part of the public's defence against other viruses and infections, but it may be more likely to become a matter of personal choice than the law. And finally, with the UK gearing up to find an exit route to the pandemic, is England's outlook shared across the UK? The short answer is no. The First Minister of Wales has said that the strategy in Westminster is not just out of step with the rest of the UK, but also the rest of Europe. And while there's hope that we'll come to live with the virus, some scientists point out the pandemic won't just transition into an endemic because the government wills it, not least at a point when infections are running at the highest level. There are still many uncertainties to the UK's journey out of this pandemic, but one thing that's clear is the intention to move away from avoidance towards coexistence, whatever that looks like.